Hello everyone and welcome to this Footfighter warrior build. We will look closer to all skills a warrior should have on foot and what is the best build for the normal Footfighter. I will summarize a little bit what your role in combat is. In a group fight or a siege or some big fights, you're on the front line. And you're not only the tanks, you're also the damage dealers. It's also a good option for solo play. If you want to make PvE dungeons and stuff, then the Thusar warrior is a very good option. But for hunting animals and stuff, I would highly recommend an Alvarine. But you can also do this with this build, no problem. You can do everything with all builds, by the way. But some make more sense than others in some cases. Please note that is my build. I will play this build too at release. And I have some optional skills in there, which I have chosen because of my Mortal Online 1 experience. But now anyway, let's create a character. So we choose the Thusar because that is one of the best foot fighters ever. There's also a viable foot fighter option if you play a Veela, for example, an Alvarine. But that is a foot fighter with much more dex than the Thusar, but the Thusar is just brute force. Please note that I already calculated the Glade Gifts in that. They come later in the video. So you will have a 33% damage bonus, which is really awesome. Set the age to 30. And your height to 212 because you get 4 height from the Glade Gifts and you can't go over your maximum height. Make him stout to 130%. Oh man, this slider is just, oh man, Starboard, please fix this slider, it's so annoying. If you set your Glade Gifts right, you can max out your strength, your dexterity and your constitution, and that is really needed for the foot fighter. But if you want some other Glade Gifts like the Thusar Warcry for example, then you can just sacrifice a few constitution points, the constitution Glade Gift, and then you can skill your active skills. The Thusar have some burned skin, but you can reduce the sizes to very low, then you switch around that you don't have any of them in the face. And if you don't like the yellow skin tone, you can change the skin color to a more human-like appearance. Then he looks like a very big human. Some people don't like to play the Thusar just because of his looks. So I'm really glad that we can change that. Because if you want to make a normal foot fighter, this is one of the best options possible. The alternative option is just to make a human colored. That is also a viable option, but you will have a little bit less damage bonus, you will have a little bit less health, and you won't have the Thusar Glade Gifts, which are preferred for a foot fighter. And the movement speed with your Thusar is not bad, it's pretty much in the middle. Only a Veela will outrun you and maybe a full Kalard build as a human, but it's like 1 or 2% of speed, so yeah, it's not noticeable. And we joined Haven and we are standing on a Veela. That is pretty unfortunate for the Veela, I think. The Thusar is also a very heavy character, so if you want to mount him, you need a strong mount. So just for example, maybe a Veela can mount a small brown bear or something, or black bear, or a wolf or whatever, or small donkeys and stuff. But you as a Thusar, you can't mount small animals. And if you can mount them, you will be a little bit slower than the character with less weight. Mounting wolves, bears and some other stuff is not in-game yet, but Starboard already confirmed that it will be in-game. Same with the weight, that depends your riding speed. You will also have a larger hitbox because you're taller than the most characters, but that's not so much of a problem. Okay, let's look closer to the strength and the damage bonus. We will have 119 strength right now, because we don't have skilled the Glade Gifts and we have 26% of damage bonus. Now we skill the Glade Gifts. Later at release you need to hunt down Walking Deads, Rizzers or Bandits or some other stuff to gain Glade Gifts experience points. Then you can glade the Tongue Breaker experience. So hunting these down you will get experience points and you will get Glade points. You can invest these Glade points on this Glade Gift window and yeah, you can increase your stats with that. So if you want to use high strength bows, for example 121 strength, then you also have to skill the Glade Gift maximum strength. And here you have it. Your character has 121 strength and a 33% damage bonus. That is pretty awesome. Here are the list of Glade Gifts I have chosen for my build. I will not go into detail here, I will just highlight the most important. The first one, 3 skill levels in aggressive stance. That means that you will get around 30 points in your skill Aggressive Stance. That is very good because you can use that 30 points on another skill. The next one is pretty interesting. Passively reduces all incoming physical damage at the cost of increased magic damage. But you can activate the Glade Gift and you will have reduced magic damage but increased physical damage. That is dealt to you. That is a must for every Thusar. That is the must-have skill number 1. Just for example, if you're fighting against a walker and the walker hits you for 7 and you skill this, you can try it out yourself of course, you can skill this, then the walker will hit you for 4 or 5 damage points, not 7. That is pretty awesome and I really love this. Then the next skill is the Adrenaline skill. Oh, not skill, a Glade Gift, sorry, skills are in the next section. So if you're fighting and you don't have any stamina left and you really need stamina right now, then you can activate this Glade Gift and you can still continue to fight. That is also a must-have because if you are, for example, a shield user, you will get out of stamina pretty fast. That is the right skill for you, that gives you a huge advantage on the battlefield. And the next one, Stamina Reduction. We don't know what it does currently, but from the name I just guess that you don't use so much stamina when you swing your weapon. And that would be also very good as a Footfighter. But we will see what bonus this Glade Gift will have in the future, or at the persistence release I mean. Okay, now to the core of the Footfighter, their skills. Yeah, Aggressive Stance is a no-brainer because of your damage. Anatomy is used for bandage healing if you want to heal yourself with bandages, so yes, you really need that. I put archery in there, it's optional of course, but please note that the damage bonus don't count for archery. But if you're fighting, for example, a Veela or someone who can run really fast or run away from you and stuff, then you can pull out your bow and shoot them. That's why I like to have archery in my build. Yeah, armor training for heavier weapons, yeah, that is a no-brainer. Blocking, of course, if you are in a normal combat situation, yes, you need blocking. Combat maneuvering is needed for armor training, of course. So now I picked controlled riding 2 and creature control. Now you're asking yourself, but Spesnat, this is a Footfighter build. Yes, you're right, that is a Footfighter build. But traveling from A to B in this huge world will be a hassle. And I also had this build with that skills Immortal on N1, and yes, I will continue with that because that works. Yeah, you can use normal riding and not controlled riding, it depends on how you want to skill your character. But I really like to go from A to B very fast. And if I see a group of a few people, maybe 3-5 people or something, then I need the speed on my mount to ride away. Sure, you could try to fight 3 or 5 people, but yes, I think you will die. And that's why I really like to have controlled riding and creature control in there, to have high level mounts and very fast mounts for transporting stuff from A to B, and just in the case I can escape. Sure, you will not have balance, but I really mean if you see people in the distance, then you're instantly escaping. What I mean is if you transport stuff from A to B, from city 1 to city 2 or something. But if you don't like this, that are not necessary skills, so yeah, you can drop these two. You will also have creature control only on 70, not on 100. So you could use the 170 points for more archery skills, for example. Yeah, defensive stance is a no-brainer to get less damage. Endurance for your stamina management on foot, perfect. Heavy armor training is also a no-brainer because yeah, you really need heavy armor if you're standing on the front line, otherwise you're dead in just a few seconds. Sprinting, of course, and a combat weapon like swords, spears, axes, hammers, whatever you want. So I really hope you'll learn something. If you have any questions, feedback or suggestions, please leave them in the comments. Also, please leave a like and subscribe, it really helps. Always remember to make party hard, and goodbye!